this section I will provide an overview of the project management tool I use on a daily basis, and have been using for the last number of years, called Trello. Trello provides a very useful interface for Kanban boards. Kanban provides a series of swim lanes where users can submit projects into a backlog. In an office environment, this would typically be displayed on a whiteboard using post-it notes. A Scrum Master or team member can then add project items into the backlog and move items across the board as they progress with their development. I will now provide you with an overview of the Kanban board I'm currently using while creating this online course. To start, I will point out some of the basic features of what Trello can provide to you and your team. However, before you go and sign up for a Trello account, I would first check with your team manager or your company IT department to see if it is acceptable to use such external third-party tools. As with some companies I've worked for, they do not allow posting of any sensitive business information out onto third-party websites. Or, as a lot of companies have adopted Agile development, you may already have tools in your company for working with Kanban boards and Agile development. The first action you will probably perform in Trello is to set up your own board, and this can be done by selecting on Boards and clicking on the Create New Board object. From the Boards menu, I can also access other boards I've created or signed up to. I can quickly switch between boards, such as for this one I'm looking at for financial analysis. And in here I can see various items relating to that project and the status of where the project items are at. Switching back over to my business and data analysis with SQL board, a Scrum Master will often start their Kanban board review with the rightmost lane and work right to left through project items on the board. Reviewing my last swim lane, I have called this lane Produce and Share. And that's the great thing with Kanban boards. You can name your swim lanes to fit your development process, and add or remove swim lanes as required. So for items in the last lane, these are now ready to upload. Moving back through the various swim lanes, I've got a number of items under Review Video, Edit Video, and currently I have one item in Record Screen for project management, which is the item I'm presently working on for this video. Finally, in the backlog, I've got a number of items here which I will work on at a later stage. Clicking on the project management ticket, I can see I have marked this as a could have item. That is, while Agile and Kanban are good to know, they are not critical components to this course. All the same, I'm more than happy that I have found the time to add this section on project management into the course. At the top I've provided a brief description of how to project manage. Obviously, depending on your requirement, you may have more or less details with regards to your description. As if this item was to be taken on by another member of your team who is new to this project, then you may want to expand in greater detail as to what the description of the requirement is. Next, I have created a list of items I wanted to address within this section, and as I progress through the ticket, I can mark items off the list as complete. And once I get to 100%, the status bar will change from a blue line into a green line indicating that I have completed all items. This is particularly useful when you come into your weekly team meeting and your team and Scrum Master is asking you for a progress update on your development. I can then quickly open up the card in Trello that I'm working on and show that I have 73% of the work complete with 1 or 2 outstanding items. I can also go ahead and add in comments as I progress with my work, and other members of the team can also add in their feedback to the comments section. If a team member has added a watch to the ticket, then anytime a comment is added, they will receive an email or web browser notification with the update. I can add to my comment various items such as an attachment, or mention another team member if they need to take some action on this card, and also point to another card if it is related. I can go ahead and create another checklist, such as, I might want a checklist here to sign off on the card. For sign off I will add in, meet with the customer, review video, submit to Udemy. I can also set a completion date. For example, if I wanted to set a due date for next week, Once I've completed the item of work, I can then come in and check the box that I've completed this item. Reviewing the ticket on the board, I can also see, as a Scrum Master, when I review such tickets if there is a due date set. This will allow me as a Scrum Master to prioritize items better, knowing when items have a fixed deadline. If an item has been marked as complete, then the item will appear as green on the Kanban board. And if I go past my due date, then the item will appear as red on the board. If I wanted to come along and add a member to this card, I can do so easily by clicking on the Members button, searching for the member and adding them to the card. But what makes Trello so great to use is that you can easily move cards around within your web browser by just clicking and dragging on a card into the corresponding swim lanes. As a Scrum Master with my team, I will typically come into a weekly meeting and first ask what items have progressed with development, starting with items closest to completion. For example, if I have an item in review video, such as my SQL explain plan, I can drag this from the review video to the complete share swim lane. Moving across the Kanban board, I can look at items in the next swim lane, edit video, and the card Create Report in Excel is ready to move into the Review Video swim lane. As I move a card across the board, I will move the card from the top of the swim lane the card is presently in to the bottom of the next swim lane. This keeps the cards in a relevant order on the swim lane. Likewise, under Edit Video, Load Data into Spreadsheet and ODBC Setup, I can say I have completed editing these items, and Project Management is what I'm currently working on in the Record Audio section. I can also add my board to favorites by clicking on the star icon, so when I open up Trello, I can quickly access boards I'm working on. I can also set a board as being private, or as part of a team, or public. Under the Show menu, we have more options such as I can filter on cards, which allows a Scrum Master then to quickly review cards at a given priority level. I can change the background, but for now I will stick with this picture. I believe it's Lake Louise in Banff National Park. Trello also provides what are known as power-ups. These can be very useful for integrating into other third-party applications. For example, we can integrate directly into Jira, Google Drive, Calendar. So these are definitely worth reviewing for streamlining your workflow. There is also a direct link to the board, which I can send out to users directly if I want them to join the board. Lastly, if you would like to try Trello, I will provide a link below in the comments section. It's free to sign up an account, and there are also billing options if you require business support with Trello. For the most part, you can get away with using the free version, and if you want to try some of the extra add-ons, Trello has a nice recommender feature where if you recommend a new person to Trello, you will be given 1 month's access to the full version, with a max, I believe, of 12 months. That's all for this section on using Kanban boards in Trello.